do you walk people through that issue of selling or keeping a house in a divorce?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said it's an emotional decision, and like we've talked about, previously, that's what a lot of the decisions are, when we're left to ourselves during divorce. And so, really, the idea of working with an RCSD realtor is to consult with somebody who's going to look at the big picture with you, not be a part of that emotion with you, and really help you to make some wise decisions about where you will live when the divorce is finalized. And certainly, the majority of my clients are women, not all of them. And a woman oftentimes will want to keep the house because she's already feeling such guilt about the fact that a divorce is happening and what she's putting her kids through, quote unquote. And so she wants to try to keep as much normalcy in their lives as possible. And so the general assumption is, if we can just keep them in the house that they grew up in, then that's better. Maybe it is, but not always. And that is an emotional decision when you say that. And the fact is that kids are actually very resilient and sometimes benefit as much from a fresh start as their mom does. And so if you can afford to stay in that house comfortably, then we can talk about that being a really good option for you and your kids. But if it's going to put you in dire straits and you're going to be house poor and you're not going to be able to ever do anything fun because you're stressed out all the time about how you're going to make this payment, or if you're basing your qualification for that house on alimony or child support that may or may not come, then you're really putting yourself in financial risk. And there's really no greater time of financial risk than, for a woman especially, than the year following a divorce, because we get to see if you're actually going to get the alimony and child support that you're awarded, and if you're going to hire an attorney again to get it, and if you're going to get it reliably. And those all are factors, because that's going to be one of the income sources that the lender is going to look at to determine whether or not you qualify to refinance the house in your own name without your soon-to-be ex-spouse's income as part of the consideration. I certainly would say the number one recommendation is, do not keep a house and stay on it with a partner that you're no longer with. And I cannot tell you how often that happens. But your credit score, one of the things that we're taught in our CSD training is that the number one asset in your divorce is not the house, it's your credit score. And your credit score is already going to suffer as part of divorce because of the opening and closing of accounts and different things that are going to naturally be happening. But, having a partner who may purposefully or even accidentally sabotage you by not making house payments can kill your credit score I've seen it drop 100 points for one missed payment and not recover for a year or more. So it's a huge deal to permanently sever joint ownership and joint liability. That is your number one goal. And if that means sell, then sell. If that means keep and refi, get advice early on. You don't have to wait. You should actually find out before mediation from a lender whether or not they would approve you for a refi based on what is known about your income going forward. So
Yeah,
all of these things can be found out.